Boom, hi. I feel weird going back to that intro because it's been a really long time. Today I am here to announce a gathering that I am co-hosting in about a week, but I have more in this video that I would like to say than just the details of the gathering. So if you're here for the details of the gathering only, then here you go. If you are interested in hearing the other things I have to say about safety and Russell Square, bearing in mind the recent incidents last night, then please stick around. So the gathering that I'm hosting is the Pre-SitC gathering, and it is in Russell Square on Thursday the 11th of August, which is the day before Summer in the City officially starts, and it's from 12 noon till whenever people are ready to leave. Last night at 10:30 there was a stabbing and a murder and 5 or 6 people injured outside Russell Square. Now, this has obviously caused a lot of panic and worry, and I woke up at 5 AM, saw the news and cried because I have basically spent almost every weekend, roughly, for the last year in Russell Square with my friends. And I was literally there 2 days ago for my birthday, so this hit pretty close to home for me, as well as being someone who organises all these gatherings like Pre-SitC and London Fandom and owns an account dedicated to telling everyone about all the gatherings in Russell Square. This affected me a lot. But as an organiser of Pre-SitC, I was talking to Libby, who is also organising it with me, and although we want to look extremely carefully into making sure that everybody is going to be safe, so keep an eye out on the Twitter for updates at the Pre-SitC, we are unlikely to move the gathering from Russell Square. And I know this is going to shock quite a lot of people, I think, because why would you host a gathering in somewhere where all this stuff has literally just been happening? But what you have to remember is that London has been on like a high alert for like 2 years, and not many things have happened in those 2 years. For one thing, Russell Square is usually a really good area in terms of crime, because Bloomsbury it's a nice, quite high area. Russell Square is privately owned, which is why we're allowed to host gatherings that big there, and it's usually a really good area. And it's not often that these things happen, and actually the person who they have in custody has, I think they suggested that he had severe mental health issues or something, but either way, he is in custody. He is not out anywhere. He's not going to hurt anyone when he's in custody. But Russell Square is in a reasonably good area, and things like this don't happen there a lot. And it did happen at 10:30 in the evening as well, really late at night. And we're going to be there at midday for a picnic, effectively, and there's going to be a lot of us, so there is also safety in numbers. General London security is going to be upped anyway, so that will make it safer, but you can't go round life being absolutely terrified to do something just because of one thing that's happened. And I know that's really difficult to get your head around, but for instance, in the 7/7 bombings, there was a bus outside Russell Square that got blown up. And people always completely forget this, I think. But after the 7/7 bombings, people just continued using the tube day to day, and obviously nothing really has happened since then. And it just kind of shows that, like, we've been to Russell Square so many times since the 7/7 bombings in what? The 7/7 bombings were years ago, like so long ago, and most of the time people don't even think of them when they go to Russell Square. People worry more about the tubes, and it just shows that you can't just tiptoe around everything. If you avoid everywhere where there's ever been a huge incident, then you are going to be stuck in one place like your whole life, and you're not going to get anywhere. And that's the truth of it. I have this box where I keep all my photos whilst I'm working on sorting out my photo wall. And in this box I have a lot of photos. Like, I have so many, and And loads of these are to do with Russell Square. So I woke up at 5 a.m. and I saw it happened, and I just cried because I have spent such a long time in Russell Square over the last year. It's always been fine. That this is a risk that is always there at every gathering that you go to. Like, this, as far as we know, looks like it is a lone incident. It is one person with severe mental health issues who didn't take their medication. I'm not sure, it's not been announced, I'm not going to really comment on it. But as far as has been announced, it looks like it was a lone issue. One person doing something fucking stupid. This one person could have done this one thing any time in the last a few years or weeks or days. It just so happens that it was last night. This was a risk that was effectively there for my birthday gathering, or for my friend Maya's gathering a few days before that, or for any gathering ever, pretty much. This risk has always been there. So you can't tiptoe round the fact that these things happen. These things happen, and it can be the most random things. For example, like the Paris attacks, it was just a concert hall. That could have been any concert that anyone could have gone to. It just happened to be that one. Like, when there was that bomb scare not that long ago in, I can't remember where it was, but like there'd been like a fake bomb left after a training day. That could have been any time, ever. It just so happens it was then. This man last night could have done this to anyone at any time. It just so happens that it was last night, and that it is a week until our gathering, and a week until so many now extremely nervous people come to London for this gathering and for Summer in the City for potentially the first time. It's a risk you always have. London has been on a high alert for years. London is always a target, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything is going to happen. I know it's difficult, believe me. I know that it's going to be difficult to feel completely safe at this Pre-SitC gathering, but I don't want to say you just have to deal with it, or you just have to look past it, because it's not that simple. That's not how having anxiety about something works and being nervous about something works. It's not just like, oh, someone said it's fine, yeah, it's fine, I'm okay with it. It's not as simple as that, because anything can go wrong, which is true. But anything could go wrong at any time, anywhere. It doesn't matter when. For example, the same thing could have happened near Greenwich Park or Blackheath or anywhere, and it would still cause the same reaction. I feel like this just hit very close to home because of the amount of time I spent there. All of these things had been in Russell Square, and all of these things have had exactly the same risk as Pre-SitC has. However, people are just suddenly more aware of that risk, and that's okay. But although, as organisers of the Pre-SitC, we are going to keep a very close eye out on all that the police release on last night's events, like I've put their account on notifications, I'm keeping a very close eye out. We are likely to keep the event in Russell Square due to the size of the event and the fact that you can't tiptoe round everything. I'm aware that this was a lot of rambles, but just remember that last night was a one-time thing, and it could have happened anytime, anywhere in London. It was not a planned attack. And the risks that were there last night, and that you can now see for the Pre-SitC gathering, are there wherever you go in London, whatever gathering you go to. but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go to gatherings, you shouldn't meet up with your friends, and you shouldn't go to London. I hope I did an okay job at maybe calming the water a little bit in terms of this. Just know that this hit very close to home for me, and I want to make everyone feel as safe as possible at any gathering that I have anything to do with, especially the ones I organise, because I just want people to feel safe. And I am going to do my very best to ensure this at the Pre-SitC gathering, which, just in case you've forgotten the details because of my really stupidly long ramble, is on Thursday the 11th of August, which is next Thursday, in Russell Square at 12 noon. I do urge you to come along, honestly, because I don't think anything's going to happen, but there is always a risk. But that risk is always there wherever you go. I hope I did an okay job in calming the water, as I was saying, but thank you very much for watching this probably very long video, and I hope to see you at the Pre-SitC gathering. If not, somewhere in the city, which will definitely be a very safe and controlled environment because there are going to be a lot of security and security is going to be upped and everything. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.